just to preface this, this is my own personal opinion and what I think is the best women's match in WrestleMania history. Let me know what you think the best is. In my opinion, the best one far and away is the triple threat women's match, I think, to establish at the time the first women's champion, because I don't think it was Raw Women's Champion, it was just a women's champion at WrestleMania 32 between Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. I think this is the best one because I feel like it is the first time in a very long time, maybe ever, at WrestleMania, the women were truly allowed to shine and put on a stellar match. And I think there have been great matches afterwards, but I think this one, I think the shine of it being for the first woman, the first women's champion after the Divas Championship, is why it's so great. I mean, the wrestling as well is really, really great. All three competitors are fantastic. Like, obviously, at the time, Sasha and Charlotte in particular were seen as like, ooh, the creme de la creme, and Becky was a great wrestler but was underrated. Obviously, that completely changed in a matter of years, and I cannot wait to see if and when she comes back to wrestling, what she's going to be like. She's going to be just as big of a star as when she left. Probably even bigger, but I think the in-ring competition on this match was great. I think the one thing I'm like, ugh, I just wish wasn't there was Ric Flair's involvement. I think in the finish, it tied in to Charlotte's character being the heel going into this match. Like, she was the heel. At that point, like, Becky was just like a white meat babyface. And Sasha was kind of in between. She was basically the tweener of the match. But I truly think without the Ric Flair interference, I think this match would be even greater. And it's a shame that I kind of have to default to this match being the best, because for so many WrestleManias the women weren't given a time to shine. They had, this isn't the first time they have fantastic competition. The Mickie James and Trish Stratus match was a great match, but it's marred by the ending, and also the commentary of the ending of being super sexualized. And I'm like, oh. And Alundra Blaze in China I think Alundra Blaze in China had a match which was great. They're both great wrestlers, and then it was just marred by a swathe of battle royals for women won by men, and Divas Invitational Cups, or no match at all some years. Like, what? You've got this entire... And this was towards the time there was actual good competition for women in WWE where they just didn't have a match. Like, you had legitimately good wrestlers and you didn't let them fight. Why? But now we have just a plethora of fantastic women in WWE. I think NXT has the best women's division in the world, with the exception of places that are just women's competition, like Joshi is just women's and Stardom is just women's. But okay, maybe in the West, the best women's division. Okay, I mean, for a long time, I think TNA Impact had that. With their Knockouts division was stellar, and a lot of the women that WWE just didn't use went there and had fantastic careers. And I'm like, look, WWE, this is what you should have done. And they're kind of starting to come around to it, but still not enough. Like, the women are still kind of seen as the back burner on the shows, which is disappointing, to say the least. But yeah, I think this match was great in-ring action. Only thing, Ric Flair was a bit annoying. The story of these women wanting to become the first women's champion is fantastic, and yeah, this was a great match. But let me know what you think is the best women's match. To be honest, I think Sasha Bianca Belair this year might overtake it. They're both fantastic competitors. But let me know your thoughts, and check out my other best matches in WrestleMania history here and probably on the side.